It was hard work in the end, but a good 3 points.
Yeah, probably both facts there. It did become a little bit sort of hard work at the end, but I think Chrissy's just sitting there sendings off, like that happened and have happened previously. And I think today, we probably reacted a little bit better, sort of collectively and as sort of units and stuff than we did previously in the season. So I think there's probably no doubt we deserved it. But yeah, it was a little bit helter-skelter at the end, wasn't it?
We were comfortable until the sending off, but I think the second yellow was a correct decision, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. He's probably a little bit disappointed today because he's tracked the run and he's actually kicked it off Dibs and then it's gone in behind him. And I don't think he actually sort of lashed out, but I guess it's one of them where if it happened at our end, we would expect that if it was a second yellow, you'd expect it as a foul and a second yellow, so we can't really complain too much.
So I think 2 yellows is a one-match ban, which will be next week at Borough Rangers.
Right.
Will John Weers be fit by next week to take his place?
He might not be fit. He's had a burger and chips the last 3 or 4 games, so but I don't know. We'll train this week and we'll see sort of collectively what we've got and kind of who's been missing today and who we've kind of got for next week and who we haven't.
The friends had to earn the money after the sending off, but they held out really well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And like I say, I think probably all game it's talked about, I suppose, as a defensive thing, but it comes from kind of the midfield 4 and then the forward 2, whoever that is. And I suppose we've kind of kept that pretty much since we've come in. So when people go in, whether it's a 9 on your back or a 10 or a 4 or an 8 or whatever, you kind of know your role and know your job, and we're sort of getting to a point there where everybody knows the role, and if we go down to 10, it doesn't really change much. Maybe just 1 dropping in and kind of 1 as a 9 and that, but yeah.
I'm going to give Tow Law some credit because they give us 2 good games now. They're a far better side than the league table would suggest, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think Chrissy was talking to a couple beforehand and we were as well, and I think they've been in most of the games, so I know some of the results might look like they've been sort of tonked and that, but as it showed there, they can pass it about and they're no mugs. Like you say, they've given us 2 good games there. And probably earlier on in the season, today they might have got an equaliser, so I think probably on that respect, our luck might have turned a little bit.
Prof, I haven't moaned about refs for quite a while now, but he wasn't very good today, was he?
I had a word with him at half time because I think there was a couple in the first half where I think he didn't give advantage, or he could have played maybe a couple of seconds. Yeah, probably for both teams.
There was one instant we were clean to 1 goal, then he pulled us one and gives us a free kick.
Yeah, no, there was a couple, and like I say, it was both teams, so it wasn't just us. But I think there was one particular that might have dropped a Luke on the far side. Like you say, there was one sort of we cleaned through, but there was another one there where you think that's a decent sort of chance for a break. But I did say to him at half time, and I think one of them he thought the injury was a little bit bad, so he kind of blew, which I understand that. But yeah, I'll go with the no comment, even though I've commented.
We're a bit short on strikers today, and the 2 that played up front aren't out and out strikers, but they both did well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And again, even though if we play sort of Billy and Andre, because the sort of physical big lads, that doesn't mean that we just want to hoof the ball up to them. It's still, we want to kind of play through when we can and play in defeat. And I think today that probably suited them too. But we want to do that with Lenny as well. Lenny, do you know what I mean? He's not a physical sort of 6-foot lad. He's good when the ball's into his feet and stuff like that. But you just have to adjust slightly, and we've done that today. And I think it looked good. I think it could have been maybe Leighton up there and kind of Nathan on the left. But you kind of put out what you've got and who's available, and that's what we've come up with.
And just moving on, mate, what's your thoughts on the Durham Challenge Cup draw? Got the big derby in the quarter-final. Yeah,
I mean, I think probably if you look at it and looked at the teams that were left in, everybody was probably thinking as long as we avoid Hebben, whoever you sort of get in the quarters, you've kind of got a chance of getting through. So yeah, we'll sort of see how the games go between now and then, see who we've got, and we'll go and give it a good go.
And it's a tough sounding game at Borough Rangers next week. We're having a bit of a run on these 3G pitches, but they suit our game, don't they?
They do, yeah, and I suppose you could probably look at kind of the result early on in the season. It was a 5-3, but there was tons of stuff happening in that game, and I think at a point we were in control of that game, so we're not sort of worried, we're not scared, anything like that. And like you say, we'll go down there and we'll do what we normally do, and if we get our game right, we'll be absolutely fine.
Thanks very much for that, mate.
Well, thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Cheers.